Okay, Wildcats. Today we're looking at Thursday, October 11th, Solve Systems of Inequalities. And that's going to be on page 18. And a quick update on Friday, October 12th, it's just going to be assignment, so there's not going to be anything in your journal for that. All right, so if you would finish up your table of contents. All right, now your table of contents are updated. Let's take a look at our notes. Solve Systems of Inequalities. Steps to graph systems of inequalities. Step 1. Graph the first equation. Now when graphing, if it's y less than, it's a dashed line shaded below. If it's y less than or equal to, it's a solid line and shaded below. If it's y greater than, it's a dashed line and shaded above. If it's y greater than or equal to, it's a solid line and shaded above. All right. Excuse me. Step 2. Graph the second equation. If y is less than, it's a dashed line and shaded below. If y is less than or equal to, it's a solid line shaded below. If it's y greater than, it's a dashed line shaded above. If it's y greater than or equal to, it's a solid line and shaded above. And then step 3. The solution is the overlapping region. Now a little note, if the regions do not overlap, then there is no solution. All right, so finish up your notes. All right, now your notes are updated. Let's take a look at. All right, and let's get the blurriness away. And I might have to zoom in. There we go. That's probably the best it's going to be. All right. Let's get the solution to the system of inequalities. So this is y greater than 4x minus 4. Now I'm going to show you how to graph it first without the calculator, then I'll show you how to graph it with the calculator. Now first off, I'm going to bring this inequality down here because the number in front of x is slope, and slope needs to be a fraction, so we're going to divide that by 1. All right, so when graphing without a calculator, we start with the y-intercept, which is -4. So we have a dot at -4. And then slope is rise over run, so that's up 4 to the right 1. So up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 1. All right, now since there is no line, it's a dashed line. Now, I'm going to show you kind of a cool way to do this. You can do it in pencil, but if you do it with highlighters, something cool happens. So since it's greater than, we're shading above. Okay. Now, let's look at this inequality. Y greater than or equal to. Now, if there's a negative in front of the x, we're going to make a 1. So -1x minus 3. Now again, the number in front of x is a fraction because it's rise over run, so we're going to divide it by 1. So now graphing here, we start at -3, so there's a dot at -3. And in this case, we go down 1 to the right 1. So down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1. Now, if I were to erase the negative, and move it to the denominator, which I can, now we'd go up 1 to left 1. So up 1 to left 1. 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 Now, there's a line underneath, so it's a solid line. And then, again, it's greater than, so we shade above. Now, watch when I use a different color highlighter, notice that there's a color change. So you can see the green region is the overlapping region, and it's the solution. This is why I suggest doing this assignment with a yellow and a blue highlighter. Okay. All right, so now let's take a look at example 2. Okay, so again, I need to move the, oh, wait, let me take a step back. Let me show you how to do example 1 on the calculator. All right, so to do that, let me lighten up the screen a little bit. There we go. All right, so we can go to new document, and let me lighten it some more. There we go. No, add graph. Now, man, this screen is very dark. Or light. I guess that's as light as it's going to be. All right, now I'm going to delete. I'm going to press this delete key. I'm going to delete the equal sign. And then you notice now we can pick the inequality. Well, we have number 4. And then that's 4x minus 4. Now I want grid line, so I'm going to go to Menu, View, Grid, Line Grid. Okay. Now you notice, though, this doesn't look closely to this yet because the window is not the same. So to adjust this calculator so it looks exactly like the paper, you're going to go to Menu, Window Zoom, Window Settings. Now you see here that the x min is -5 and the x max is number 4, 5. So we're going to change that to -5, 5. They're counting by 1, so 1, 2, so 1. The y min, it looks like, is -5, and the y max is a +5, and they're counting by ones. Now, when I press enter, now you can see that it looks like the paper. Okay, so now to graph the second equation, we're going to press tab. Now you see how it's interrelation mode, so what we're going to do is we're going to type in y, and then I'm going to press the control equal sign, gives me the inequality. So in this case, we want greater than or equal to -x minus 3. Now in this case, they use, I think, blue and red, and you can see that the overlapping region is purple, and then you can see your graph. Now to see if the lines are dashed or solid, you just move your cursor over the line, and you can see it's dashed, and here you can see that it is solid. Okay, so now let's take a look at example 2. All right, so first things first, we're going to bring the inequality down. I'm going to put a 1 in front of the x, in this case -1 plus 5. Now remember, slope is always rise over 1, so we're going to divide that by 1. Now the graph, we start at +5. Okay, and this tells us we go down 1 to the left, or down 1 to the right one. So down 1 to the right one, 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 down 1 to the right one. All right, and there's no line in these, so it's a dashed line. Okay. Now it's greater than, so we shade above. Okay. Now let's look at the second inequality. So y greater than, put a 1 there, 1x plus 3. Okay, so then here, I'm going to divide that by 1. Okay, so we start at positive 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we go up 1 to the right one, up 1 to the right one, up 1 to the right one. There's no line underneath, so it's a dashed line. Okay, and then this one's greater than as well, so we shade above. And again, I'm going to do some blue because I'm looking for the overlapping region. And you can see that the overlapping region turned green. So you can see that this is your solution. All right, now to do that on your calculator. Now, to save some time, the window is already set correctly to this. So what I'm going to do is go tab, and I'm going to go up to the first equation in blue, and I'm going to delete it. Press enter, tab, go up to the, find it, there you go, red one, and I'm going to delete that, press enter. Now you can start here. So to graph that, press tab, Y, and then I'm going to press control equal and greater than negative x plus 5, tab, Y, control equal greater than x plus 3, and you can see that your graph matches. And you only see that small triangle overlapping region. And I can actually click on that equation, press delete, click on that equation, press delete so I can see it better. But you can see here this region matches that region right there. All right. Now, that's if these were both in slope-intercept form. Now, if it's not in slope-intercept form, you can just go straight to graphing on your calculator. Okay, so to do that, again, we have the window set correctly. Now, another way to delete is if I click on the line, press delete, and I can click on this and press delete. That's another way to get rid of them. Okay, so now press tab, 2x minus 3y, control equal, less than or equal to negative 6. Now, to understand graphing as a calculator, I'm looking for points that I can use. So I can use this point right here. So it's negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 0. So I'm going to put a dot at negative 3, 0. And I'm going to follow the line to find points. You can't use that one, can't use that one, can't use that one. I can use this. So 0, 2. And can't use, I can use that point. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now if I move the cursor over the line, I can see that it's a solid line. And I need to move the calculator for a second. Okay, now we can see we're shading above. They use blue, but I'm going to use yellow. Okay. Now press tab, and then I'm going to 4x minus 6y, control equal, greater than 6. Okay, so then I'm going to go from the left to right to find points. I can use this point right here, so that's negative 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So negative 3, negative 3. There's a point. Can't use that point, can't use that point. I can use this point, 0, negative 1. Let's see, can't use that point, I can use this point. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Then I move my cursor over the line. It's a dashed line. Let's get on blurry. All right, and then you saw from the calculator, we shade below. So we shade below. All right, now you can see in this example that they don't overlap, so we can say that this is no solution. All right, so at this point, you're going to start working on the assignment, and then, see, come back to my table of contents here. And then you'll work on, there'll be no video for Friday because you'll just be working, I think it's 5 problems, solve mixed systems of equation practice problems, okay? All right, so with that, start working on your assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat day.